The Top Team. I'm your host, Seth the Dark Child.
I'm your host, twinsinc.
Our show is about two guys and any friends that happen to come over with a topic that we want to chop up.
This is our barbershop style podcast. We discuss it all. If the fellas at the shop will go in on it, we will. Let's chop it up.
We back. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host, twinsinc. And as you see, there's no Seth the Dark Child today. He had some things going on, so he couldn't make the show. But you know what? The show must go on. And I'm glad you're here. I want to keep the people who continue to listen to the show and supporting the show. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the love, the shares, whatever you may do. I just want to say thank you first off, right? But I'm not going to be here long before you, but I do got to talk about this topic. Now, I just want to let you know, the DaChopTeam live recording on Sundays, 3 p.m.-ish. Now, today's a little later, which is okay. We're normally at 3 p.m.-ish. And the podcast episodes drop Monday, 7 a.m. on all the major platforms. Spotify, iHeart, Spreaker, whoever. You listen to our podcast, we'll be there. Just type in the DaChopTeam. We have over 130 plus episodes out there. So a lot of content. Make sure you get your headphones plugged in because we talk about a lot of things here. It's the barbershop style podcast that we have. But as you see the topic today, we're talking about unity. And of course, you see, we're talking about Judge Kentanji Brown. That's going for the supreme position with the United States. She might be the first Black African-American woman to hold that position. Salute to her. I sat there and listened to majority of the videos. I mean, I think, like I said, they had like an 11-hour straight dialogue interviewing her. But a lot of things, what I put out from that is that we, and I'm saying we, I'm talking about men and women, we need to work together. We need to have unity between one another. This thing had nothing to do with race. Nothing to do with race. I mean, the fact that she's a Black woman, but she has a white husband. But it's the simple fact that at the end of the day, he's still a man. She went through a lot of lengthy, tough conversations and challenging things that you can see how here in America that her racism is still here. I don't care how you chop it up. I don't care how you get it, chop it up, the chop team. But anyway, I don't care how you look at it. The energy that they was giving off with some of those questions, and I'm not even going to go into them because I want to challenge you, the listener. If you haven't, you need to listen to that. You need to look through that. You need to sit there and watch through that. Now, you may have to do it bits and pieces because it's very long. And, of course, you go on YouTube or other platforms out there on any – I mean, you type her name in, there will be many snippets. Even on CNN, they got short, small snippets. But it's just the energy that she had to sit there and go through and she's well qualified for the position, regardless who recommended her, which was Biden. The fact is that she's well qualified for the position to be the first Black woman ever to hold that position. And if you know, some of those jokers who hold those positions, they hold those positions for life. Just be clear. For life. There's some people there 70 years old, 80 years old, whatever. But anywho, the reason why I want to talk about today, because it was very powerful to see her, especially as a woman, Black woman, to be on that platform for the whole world to see. Because mind you, they have this type of dialogue for every person who's going to the Supreme Court judging, whatever it is. But the thing is this, I'm 40, and I'm sure there have been plenty of people before me who had go through the same process, right? But I tell you one thing, it might have been on TV, but there was no emphasis on it. It's just a regular interview, blah, blah, blah. But what made a difference this time was a Black lady. I'm talking about you got news, you got Instagram, social media, Twitter. It was all over the place. You could not know about it. It was plastered over the world. And they, of course, they talk about a lot of her past cases that she has and how she ruled them and X, Y, Z. Listen, she held her. Listen, I stand by what I did. I'm not going to agree to, do I feel, should the punishment been harder or should have been less or do I regret? No. Make a decision, stand on it. They want her to break. Now, mind, she did have a little teary moment, but I'm saying they want her to break and show that, oh, she can't be in position because she don't stand on a word. She did exactly what she's supposed to do. I made a decision. That's what it is. Do we all make decisions in life that we regret we should have did? Yes, absolutely. But as far as to admitting to you, so you can win your reason of why you don't want me to be a part of this group, no, we ain't gonna play them games. I said what I said, and I stand on what I say. But I just want to talk about the unity part because, as a man, like I said, it's got nothing to do with race because her husband is white. But as a man, to sit there, they listen to all these other men and other women say things to your wife or ask her questions and to question her integrity, X, Y, Z. And it's like you want to defend her, but in that place, you really can't because she's actually in an interview. Point blank, period. She's actually having an interview for this big position. So he really couldn't intervene. But it's like those questions they asked her, it'll do is just out someone randomly or X, Y, Z. I feel that he wouldn't have let that slide. When they ask certain questions, they're like, well, what we're not going to do. We're not going to ask. No. I don't care how you feel, what you think. What you're not going to do is have X, Y, Z. But overall, the platform, it just shows how racism is still there. It's sad. And at this point, when people think that racism doesn't exist, I want you to watch that with an open mind, black, white, brown, whoever, mainly for the Caucasian community, because they're the only ones that always run around town about, oh, racism don't exist. I don't see it. I don't, blah, blah, blah. Man, bullcrap. It's there. Take yourself out her shoes and put yourself in that shoes. And imagine how would you feel if somebody say those things towards you and how you will react. Think about it for a moment. But we have to unite because, fellas, all women need us. Women, we need you. But we have to come to a common denominator, but that we're here for each other. We talk about relationship a lot on this channel, on the DaChopTeam. And, you have a conversation. I had plenty of time of the benefits of not getting married. I still stand on that. I will not come off that. I'm not saying that men and women shouldn't be together. Yes, we need to be together. But to say a one piece of paper is the main reason why you want to get together, and then you ask any woman across the world, what's the benefit? And they say, well, if you get hurt or get sick, if I get hurt or sick or you got to make a life decision, it doesn't matter at that point. How were you cheating that man throughout the 20 plus years y'all together, regardless of me being sick or in a situation that make a life decision, right? Like that shouldn't matter. Like for me, that I don't care. You have all my information. You got my social. You got everything. If we've been married for a long period of time, you got each other's other information of everything that they need. And you can always write a will and put it out there as far as if I die, X, Y, Z. I've been married over 13 years now, going on 14. Not one time have I ever been required to pull that out to verify anything. I heard people say they needed for buying a house. I bought a house, did not need to pull that out for my wife. We travel around the world, don't need none of that. I mean, of course, our name's the same, so but that's what I'm saying. There's other ways to go around it, but I'm not really talking about the whole marriage thing at this point. I just want to talk about how unity is very important, that we need to be there together. And yes, she has been through a lot, and she's probably still going through it now because they had another interview afterwards behind doors. So she had 3 days of this conversations. Then behind the door, seeing where it's not no cameras, had another conversation. But you have to understand, as a man, once again, I'm speaking from a man. I'm like, if someone say a certain type of thing or ask my wife certain questions, I feel out of pocket. She don't have to answer that question. I'm gonna step in and check that situation overall. And more like I might have to add, that person will have to. I need apologies. If you're gonna ask a certain question, you need to figure out how to answer a different way because this is not how we're gonna do this. But the strength of her was huge, especially to see a black woman in the world. I have a daughter. And to see women that, hey, you can do other things outside of OnlyFans, twerking, and selling your body to do X, Y, Z. You can make a difference. You can make a change with your mind. And of course, we know most of our women are very educated, but make sure you have a balance in there too. Don't make that education as the end all of everything. Like, I don't need nobody because I have these degrees. Those degrees don't protect you when you're alone. Those degrees don't protect you when you're old and alone and you need help and support. Those degrees don't mean nothing to anyone. It's good to be educated. Men like women that are smart. No man has ever come out and said, I want a woman that's dumb. We may not say that education don't mean nothing to us, but you never say, I need a woman who has a GED who's stupid. You never heard that. And if you have, that's cap. But you don't hear that type of thing. You hear us say, I don't care about your education, but I didn't say I want you to be stupid, right? But that shouldn't be the ultimate conversation or the high pinnacle of everything. That, well, I have my GED, I have my doctors and my masters. I got 2 masters. Okay, but what does that do? Those degrees don't do nothing for the family. I was speaking to this poor lady. She had to be in the late 60s or 70s. She had a situation where someone broke into her home. And she had to file claim XYZ, whatever. And she was talking to another lady. She said, like, yeah, being single does have its benefits and up and down, benefits, XYZ, whatever. But at the same time, once she was put in a situation where somebody had broken into her home, invaded her privacy, granted, nothing happened to her. They took some things and left without, but you lose a sense of security now. So now when you're in a house and it's 9:00 at night and it's dark outside, but it's still early, but you're in the house watching TV, whatever, and you hear certain noises and it's just you in the house, you already scared now because somebody already tried to break in. You don't know if they're trying to come back again. Now, is your GED going to help you secure your house? Yeah, you can pick up a phone 911, but I tell you this, in 15 minutes or 20 minutes, how long it takes them to get there, a lot of things can happen in 10 to 15 minutes. Hell, most people can't even run a 15-minute for a mile without damn near passing out. So in 15 minutes, what you going to do defending is, anyway, I'm not even getting into that. The point I'm trying to make is that she's now is not mentally safe in her own house. Because anytime she hears noise, she's scared. She can't sleep at night because she hears stuff and she's scared. But once again, I'm educated, GED. I keep saying GED. I'm educated, bachelor's, doctors, all these PhDs, all these degrees, but that doesn't do nothing when it comes for safety. And that's what I'm talking about. Is if you have a unity, if you have a partnership, you won't have to worry about those things. Now, will people still break into people's house if they do have a man? Yeah, it still happens. But in most cases, if somebody does break in the house and your man happen to be there, he's going to be the first line of defense. Right? Or even on top of that, if somebody do happen to break in XYZ, what's going to happen next afterwards? There's going to be security cameras put up around the house. Doors going to be, secure, nice and whatever. If he didn't have a gun, he's going to get one now. He's going to make sure that my family is protected all the time to make sure this doesn't happen. So when she goes to sleep at night, she can sleep at peace, knowing that if she hear any little bump or sound, the wind blow outside too hard, and someone breaking in, that's panic attack. You don't want that. So what I'm saying is that we need to come together because I'm sure when Miss Judge, her last name is Jackson. When Miss Jackson, she's a judge, so Jackson, Katana Jackson, when she left that meeting, I'm sure her husband and daughter embraced her. Because that was tough. That was tough for anyone to sit there and get questioned about a case that you did back in 2013. They keep asking us a question about that. You talked about it earlier, like hour 3, you was talking about it. Now we hour 11 and we still bringing it back up. Like, why is that still, like, they're trying to paint a picture of like maybe she's not the person to be in a position. But I guarantee you put all them same people back on that same interview stage and ask them about their track history, I think you'll find some flaws there. No one's perfect. Once I said earlier, we all probably made a decision that, I could have did it different, XYZ, but it's called learning lessons. But I'll be damned, I'm going to let you use that for ammo to prevent me from being in the position where I should be. But like I said, didn't plan to be in front of everyone here long today, but that was definitely a very powerful salute to her and her family, her daughter, her husband as well. Select to the husband as well. Like I said, kudos to him because I would have been ready to cuss everyone out, go off on everybody. You ain't gonna talk to my woman like this, da da da. But this protocol. You can't do that in an interview. So salute to him as well because that was tough. And her daughter, salute to her as well. They got a beautiful picture of her in the background. She's like staring at her mom, smiling as she's going through this question. So salute to her as well. So thanks to the Chop Team. Once again, we do live recordings on YouTube. So follow us, the Chop Team. And on Mondays, 7 a.m.-ish, 7 a.m. it's set automatically. Just go to your iPhone, go to iTunes, put Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Spreaker. All those platforms will be there. So thanks for tuning into the Chop Team. I'm your host, twinsinc. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out.